What's up, guys? How are you? It's time for a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralta. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. For the 251st morning, we are here for the Daily Juice Podcast, being brought to you by BetMGM. As always, we are here on BettingPros.com, wherever you get your podcasts, on every single platform, also with video now on YouTube. So a 5-1 night last night, which was really, really nice. We got both NBA player props right. We're now 8-2 on player props in the NBA. Go use our bettingpros.com NBA prop bet cheat sheet. I'm telling you, you can find some cool winners when you're sifting through. Use it as part of your own research. But if you like doing research, that's an awesome place to go and look. Now, tonight, they have the top 7 on the prop bet cheat sheet at the time of taping. They are all on unders. I don't bet unders, okay? I only bet overs, but you can find overs. I found one that I like, so I've got one prop bet for you tonight in the NBA. I've got one NHL game to give you. I have got 3 games in college basketball to get into as well coming up here today. And, well, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the day. It should be a lot of fun. So, look, a couple things here. When you get Michigan right, -8, Alabama right, -8.5, Arkansas -3 against Missouri, I think the temptation is to come right back and fire on all of them, right? UConn loses, so we got the UConn future bet wrong, but we still have Illinois going in the Big Ten, which is good. More on them in a second. And I am really curious to see how today goes, just because Saturday before Selection Sunday is always a huge sports day. And we've got the golf bet going. 2 of the 3 did not make the cut, so those will count tomorrow for losses. But we got John Rahm still going for Sunday, so he made the cut. So let's see what he can do coming up at the Players. I don't know what happened to Webb Simpson. Fell apart today, which is kind of a bummer, but kind of a downer for us on that one. But, overall, we'll count that into the record for the week. But, a 5-1 mark on Friday. We aren't going to get angry at it. We're going to take it every single time, up a couple of units. And it really does put us, right in a good spot. So to end the week really strongly, if we can get another good day today, we can have a winning week. After all that day, up and down, kind of flat throughout the entire week, down the juice most days, we can be up here and good to go. So, BetMGM, use the promo code JUICE100 for whenever you sign up for a new account with BetMGM, so we get credit for it. We'll have some more giveaways and fun stuff coming up later with BetMGM. But let's start here with one bet that I have found that I'm curious about. Am I smelling a skunk or not, okay? So the Isaiah Livers rumor is loud. There is a real rumor out there, and Jeff Nadeau, who is a professional sports gambler, who is somebody who I respect a ton, is saying that he is hearing loudly that Livers has broken his foot and he is done for the year. So if that is the case, going up against Ohio State today, I don't think you can touch that game, okay? I don't think you can go near it. But if you still like Michigan just to win the game, you can get here in Vegas, in some books where you are probably have this, it's a 5-point teaser in college basketball. You can tease Creighton down to 3 and Michigan down to -1 from 6-1 and 8-3, and it's -110. Now, I will do that personally, but that's not an official play. But I'm just pointing that out because something is a little bit up with that, and that led me not to bet the Michigan game. When I saw that, I went, -110? Shouldn't that be a whole lot more for a number 1 seed potentially? But it's Ohio State, and Livers is probably out, which I think is a pretty big injury. So that got me off of Michigan. But that's just kind of an interesting way to jump on that if you want to jump on that here, okay? So Alabama is taking on Tennessee. Alabama's -3.5, but you can buy a half a point to make it -130. Different books will have different rates for this. But to me, I think you need to buy this down to 3, okay? If it comes down to 3, that's great, but I bought it down to 3. Alabama and Tennessee, this is going to be a war, okay? Alabama killed. And I don't think Tennessee is anywhere close to Mississippi State. Much better basketball team. Way better coached. I just think Alabama's playing at an elite level right now on defense. And so I don't really care what they did offensively. Mississippi State couldn't hit a shot from the outside. Alabama was up in their grill always. I just don't think that this Tennessee team, I mean, they were looking okay going into the game against Florida, but didn't really shock me. If you want to bet the under in this game, I wouldn't hate a play on the under, okay? 137.5, I wouldn't hate a play on the under, but I don't bet totals like I mentioned you guys before. I don't like touching totals in tournaments. I don't like touching totals in the NCAA tournament. So I'm not going to touch the total, but I probably would lean towards the under in this game. But I think Alabama, they're 17-2 straight up against the SEC. They're 13-6 against the spread against the SEC. They beat Tennessee earlier in the year, 71-63, and the line is 3.5. Okay, they've got the better players. I don't know if they got a better coach. Rick Barnes is a good coach. I don't know if they got a better coach in Nate Oates, but he's a coach of the year. I just think Bama's playing on a different level. They're locked in now. I think they showed that yesterday. They're locked in. The line's 3.5. I bought this to Alabama -3. Okay, it opened at 3. It immediately went to 3.5. 3 is the right number. Okay, because at least we get a push potential out of it. I think this game's going to be tight. I think Bama's going to have to win this at the foul line late. But I think that they will do that. But I'll lay the -130 for a half a unit. I will do that knowing that I've got a little security. So at 3.5, buy it down to 3. Alabama -3, or find Bama -3. But I think 3 is the number. I wouldn't go over 3, all right? I don't like it over 3. Get to 3. Crimson Tide against Tennessee. Alabama -3, okay? I mentioned Illinois. Illinois is taking on Iowa. And I'm just not a big fan of this Iowa team. They came back last night against Wisconsin, a team they had just played, and the fact they were down as much as they were to Wisconsin, they're so streaky offensively. That's not going to be the problem here for arguably the best team in the country in Illinois. All right. Iowa, I think, will get pushed around here in this game. The line is 2.5. It's going to be a 3-point barrage. I fully expect this to be a back and forth, up and down type of game. I fully expect this to be a lot of fun, but you guys know how I feel about Iowa. I just don't think Iowa is that good, and it makes Iowa fans go crazy. They just freak out when I start saying, I don't think your team is all that good. I just don't think your team is all that good. And in the game they played early in the year, Illinois beat Iowa 80-75. They were 3-point favorites, and they covered. Okay, so they're 2.5-point favorites this time around, and I'm going to lay it again. I'm going to take Illinois to play well here. They beat Rutgers 90-68 yesterday as 8-point favorite, so it's not like they're coming into the tournament quietly. They're coming in loudly. They are healthy. Dosumo's going to play. He's got the broken nose, but I think they're just a better basketball team. I'm laying the 2.5, half a unit. Illinois -2.5 against Iowa for a half a unit. I told you guys I'd be fading Iowa in big moments, in big games, in the tournaments. Here's my first chance to do it. Illinois -2.5 for a half a unit. And one more college basketball play to tell you about. I mentioned that Creighton -3, you can tease it down from 8 to 3, and I was going to take the Jays. But Georgetown is legitimate, okay? They're catching 8 points right now. I like the Jays a lot, but they have a matchup problem with Georgetown. Georgetown is a team that does the little things. They rebound, they shoot well, and they do a great job at the foul line. That's how they beat Villanova. They went, 23 of 23 from the free throw line? When Georgetown beat the Blue Jays back on February the 3rd in Omaha, they went 18 of 24 from the foul line, 75%. They went 10 of 21 from the three-point line, 47%, and they shot 29 of 58 for the game. That's 50%. The Jays didn't do a poor job here. They shot 38% from behind the arc, 15 of 21, and 47.4 overall for the game, 27 of 57. But one of the big deals, turnovers. The Jays turned the ball over 15 times in that game, and they got beat on the rebounding on the glass, 34-31. Georgetown is long. Georgetown is athletic. They're young, but they're coming into their own. And Patrick Ewing has got these guys playing something else. They're believing in what Patrick Ewing is selling, and it's Patrick Ewing at Madison Square Garden. This is his building, man. This is what he does. He's in a great mood. He really likes what's going on. I love this Hoya team. I think the Jays win, okay? But I think in a championship game setting, If I'm catching 8 points on a team that is super, super hot, I'm going to take Georgetown here plus the 8. The Creighton Blue Jays have gone to this game twice, and they've lost this game twice. I'm not saying they can't win this game. I think they absolutely can win this game. And so I'm kind of hedging here. If the Jays win by 1 or 2, I'll be kind of bummed. But I've got that Creighton -3 and Michigan -1 that I'm going to do like I told you. But officially, I'm taking Georgetown plus 8 for a half a unit. I just think the Hoyas are going to be able to, as long as they hit their free throws, you can say, Matt, this is when it stops. This is the hot streak. Georgetown's going to get killed. Look, I will be happily wrong. I was happy to be wrong about UConn. That's why I bet UConn. I said, you know what? If the Jays win, I'm really happy. And if Creighton wins by 1, I'm really happy because I'm going to win the bet and I'm going to win. The Jays are going to advance. The Jays have never won this. I want this for Greg McDermott so badly. I want this for the Creighton Blue Jays after what happened, after the controversy, after him being suspended and the rumors I was hearing about him being fired. The fact this is a dude that I have so much respect for, and I have a personal relationship with him. This is me just saying, look, I'm going to hedge against myself. I'm going to bet against the team I like. If the Blue Jays destroy Georgetown, I will happily lose the half a unit. So maybe you guys want to go ahead and take the Creighton Blue Jays if you want, but I think there's a real strong case to be made for Georgetown to hang around here and the Jays having to make a last-second, free throws or three-pointer or something to win this game against Georgetown. I think it's going to be a battle. I would be shocked if it's a blowout, but I think the Jays could win this game by 10. It's possible if Georgetown doesn't hit threes, if they don't hit free throws, and they turn the basketball over a lot. That is a recipe for disaster for Georgetown. But they can score. They put up 86 points on the Blue Jays a month ago, okay? So it's not like they're going to walk into this game being intimidated at all. Georgetown plus 8, okay? So the 3 games we're playing for a half a unit in college basketball: Illinois -2.5, Alabama -3 at -130, buying the half a point, and Georgetown plus 8 in the Big East Championship. Okay? So I've got one play in hockey to talk about, and it's going back to our friends, the Jets and the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is kind of crazy when you start looking at where we are for the Winnipeg Jets. So the total is 6.5. It's -105, so it's a little bit juiced to the under here, okay? But for the Jets, their last 5 games, 5-2, 4-3, 7-1, 4-3, 4-3. Okay? They're 5-0 to the over the last 5 games. For Toronto, it's been 6-1, 3-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-3. Okay? Both games between these two teams have gone over with 7 goals being scored. I feel like we should bet the under. Okay? A part of me is like, bet the under, bet the under, bet the under. I can't do it. I just can't do it. This is just a feel. I'm watching this and I'm going, let's go with goals. It's a night game. I think both teams haven't played great defensively. Both teams' firepower has gotten after it. We were on Winnipeg in the last game at +152. It's the same price right now to get them on the money line. I'm going to avoid the money line. I'm just going to hope for a 3-3 hockey game. Let's go to overtime again, and let's get a 4-3 win for one of these two teams, and let's get to the over. -105. Let's go over Jets and Maple Leafs at -105 for a half a unit for hockey. Now, one bet to make here on the props for a quarter unit. Karl Anthony Towns is his prop at William Hill is 23.5 points at -110. Karl Anthony Towns on the year is averaging 21.6 points. Okay, so this is a little bit over his average. So I tend to not love doing that. However, this is a game against Portland in which the total is 233, a really high total. Now, against the New Orleans Pelicans in the first game after the All-Star break, Minnesota destroyed the Pelicans by 30. And Karl Anthony Towns didn't play all that much. He played 28 minutes, scored 16 points. He wasn't needed. In the game before the All-Star break, he scored 16 points. But before that, he had scored 21, 23, 24, 26, and 27. Okay? He had been on a tear. So we're talking about a number at 23.5 that's right there. Okay, it's minus 110, 23.5. According to the prop bet cheat sheet on bettingpros.com, he's being projected to score 27.4 points tonight. That would give us nearly 4 points of value on Karl Anthony Towns tonight up against the Portland Trail Blazers. They don't guard anybody, okay? And look, I don't think they're going to stop a big like Karl Anthony Towns. I think he goes off. I think he has a big game. I like Karl Anthony Towns on the over for a quarter unit, over 23.5 points. We're 8-2 so far using this theory by going with the overs on the NBA prop bet cheat sheet off bettingpros.com. So it's been very profitable for us. It's done very, very well. And I'm avoiding all the unders. And there are 7 of them. You want to bet unders, there are 7 of them there for you tonight and today here on the prop bet cheat sheet. I don't touch them. At the time of taping, that is. They move around depending on the algorithms and whatever happens, bets and whatnot comes in. So, but right now, you got to go to number 8, which is where Karl Anthony Towns is on the list for over 23.5 points coming up today against the Portland Trail Blazers. We're jumping on it for a quarter unit, okay? So, here again are the plays for today. We're going over 6.5 goals at minus 105 for the Jets and the Maple Leafs. We are going Illinois minus 2.5 against Iowa. Alabama minus 3 against Tennessee at minus 130. Georgetown plus 8 against the Creighton Blue Jays for a half a unit. And Karl Anthony Towns over 23.5 points tonight against the Portland Trail Blazers for a quarter unit. My name is Matt Peralt. Let's close the week out strong here on a Saturday. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt, and we're back every single morning, including tomorrow morning for the Daily Juice podcast, brought to you by BetMGM right here on BettingPros.com.